Fox, this is one of those days where everything around Leicester City feels on edge. A huge injury update on Jannik Vestergaard ahead of the Southampton rematch. A brutal nightmare cameo for Jamal Lascelles that nobody saw coming. And the truth behind the Gareth Southgate to Leicester City rumor. I've got 3 massive Leicester City stories for you. And trust me, the last one is the most important of them all. Stick with me until the very end. Hit subscribe for daily Leicester City news, and let's get straight into it. The sight of Jannik Vestergaard pulling on a Leicester City shirt again might take a little longer than any Fox would like, because the big Dane has now gone under the knife. And that alone tells you how serious this situation has become. He tried to battle through it. He tried to manage the pain. He tried to be a warrior for the Foxes. But in the end, surgery was unavoidable. Andy King confirmed it himself. Hernia operation done. 4 to 6 weeks out. That means we're probably not seeing Vestergaard again until April. Let that sink. Potentially 8 matches without one of our most experienced center halves, right in the middle of a brutal relegation dogfight. Welcome to Leicester City, where nothing is ever simple. Now, I know opinions on Vestergaard split the fan base. Some see him as slow, some see him as past his peak. But here's the truth. When fit, he gives you presence, aerial dominance, and a calm head. And in a squad that collapses faster than a cheap deck chair under pressure, calm heads are priceless. There's also the Denmark's World Cup playoffs are looming, and this injury could rule him out of those 2. North Macedonia first, then either Czech Republic or Ireland. Big games, big stage, and our lad might be watching from the sofa. So what does that leave us with? Ben Nelson, Caleb Okoli, Jamal Lascelles, 3 center backs, 3 very different profiles, and all of them now carrying serious responsibility. Nelson is raw but brave. Okoli is athletic but still learning. Lascelles brings leadership, scars, and that gritty old-school defender mentality. And honestly, if there was ever a moment for Lascelles to justify why we brought him in, this is it. This club needs warriors, not wallflowers. The reality is simple. We cannot afford any more defensive injury, not one. Because depth is thin, confidence is fragile, and the championship is ruthless. One bad run becomes a nightmare very quickly. Just ask Nottingham Forest. Actually, don't. Let them enjoy their own. Andy King also revealed that Vestergaard had been trying to manage the problem for weeks. That alone tells you the lad hasn't downed. He's been pushing through pain for the badge. You can criticize performances, but you cannot question commitment. So now it's over to the remaining defenders, over to the manager, over to the dressing room leaders. This season is about survival, grit, and ugly wins. No style points, no excuses. Because if the Foxes are going to stay in this division, everyone left standing has to grow up fast. And here's the big question for you, Fox. Do you trust our current center-back options to keep us up without Vestergaard? Or is this injury the final nail in the coffin? Hit that subscribe button if you're passionate about Leicester and want to stay up to date. You bring Jamal Lascelles in for leadership. You bring him in for authority. You bring him in because he's supposed to steady the ship when the seas get rough. And what happened? Within 15 minutes of stepping onto the pitch at the King Power, the whole thing goes up in flames. Let's rewind it properly. Leicester City moved late in January to prize Lascelles away from Newcastle United, ending nearly 12 years at that club. He was their captain, a dressing room general, a respected figure. He wasn't playing much, yes, but the logic was simple. Get him fit, get him through the door, and let experience do the talking. Then, bang, 6-point deduction. Welcome to chaos. Lascelles makes his debut in the 2-1 defeat to Birmingham City. Not ideal, but fine. Betting in process, right? Then comes Southampton at home, and for half an hour, the Foxes looked like a proper football team again. 3-0 up, the crowd singing about 9-0. Dreamland, enter the nightmare. 75th minute, score at 3-1. Lascelles is sent on to help see the game out. Calm things down, organize, lead. Instead, Leicester completely collapsed. Southampton scored twice, then again. 3 goals after Lascelles steps onto the pitch. 3-4 full time. Stadium stunned. Players shell-shocked. Fan furious. Now, let me be crystal clear. This is not a personal pile-on. It is not fair to dump the entire disaster at Lascelles. Football does not work like that, but perception matters. And right now, the optics are brutal. He has barely played this season. Match sharpness is miles off. Rhythm, non-existent. And yet, We're throwing him into the deepest possible waters of a relegation scrap and expecting miracles. That's not how reality works. But here's the uncomfortable truth. If you arrive with the reputation of a leader, you don't get the luxury of hiding when things go wrong. You're judged differently. You're held to a higher standard. That's the price of wearing that invisible captain's armband. And last night, Leicester did not look organized. They did not look compact. They did not look like a team being marshaled by an experienced center half. It felt like panic. It felt like fear. It felt like a group of players waiting for something bad to happen and then watching it happen anyway. Maybe Big Jam needs to do what he once did at Newcastle? Get in front of a camera, call people out, rattle cages, hurt a few feelings. Because let's be honest, being nice has got this squad absolutely nowhere. This club does not need polite leaders anymore. It needs angry leaders. It needs loud leaders. It needs players who refuse to accept embarrassment as normal. Because blowing a 3-goal lead at home is not bad luck. It is a sickness. And unless someone inside that dressing room grows a spine quickly, it won't matter who plays center back. So here's the question I'm throwing straight at you, Fox. Should Jamal Lascelles be starting games for Leicester? Or has his signing already proven to be another desperate gamble that's backfired? Hit that subscribe button if you're passionate about Leicester and want to stay up to date. You don't need to look very far around the King Power these days to feel the tension in the air. It's thick, it's heavy, and it's entirely self-inflicted. Leicester City once again find themselves cleaning up after another boardroom gamble that everybody saw coming apart from the people who actually sanctioned. Martí Cifuentes in, Martí Cifuentes out. Predictable, painful, pointless. Now the Foxes are sat 20th in the championship, staring at a season that has drifted from promotion talk into pure survival mode. Add in a 6-point deduction for profit and sustainability breaches. And suddenly, this isn't just a wobble. It's an existential crisis. And into this chaos, Gary Rowett throws down a challenge. Be really ambitious with the next appointment. Not safe, not cheap, not another steady pair of hands. Ambitious. That word alone feels almost rebellious at Leicester right now, because the fan has seen this film before. A carousel of managers who arrive with polite press conferences, talk about structure and identity, and quietly fail. Names that scream compromise rather than conviction. And yet, the balance sheet is screaming even louder than the terraces. Then the bookmakers drop a bomb. Gareth Southgate. Yes, that Gareth Southgate. Former England manager, semi-finalist, finalist, builder of cultures. A man who took a fractured national side and turned it into a unified, competitive machine. On paper, it sounds outrageous. On emotion, it sounds intoxicating. This would be a proper statement, not just a new manager, a cultural reset, a message that Leicester City are done drifting and ready to punch above their weight again. Southgate brings gravitas. He brings calm authority. He brings standards. For a club accused of very, very poor management, appointing someone of that stature would scream accountability. But let's be brutally honest with ourselves. Why would a man who has coached on the biggest international stages walk into a championship relegation dogfight, shackled by financial restrictions and forced to shop in the bargain bin? Romantic, yes. Realistic? Not even close. Seagrave is a lovely training ground, but it is not St. George's Park. Leicester's current project is not a glamorous rebuild. It is a rescue mission. That's the uncomfortable truth. The Southgate rumor tells you more about desperation than probability. It tells you how badly the fan wants a hero. Someone credible, someone serious, someone who feels bigger than the mess. And you can't blame the fan for dreaming, because safe appointments have got this club nowhere. Cheap appointments have got this club nowhere. So ambition, even as a rumor, feels like oxygen. But unless ownership are prepared to fundamentally change how they operate, this will remain fantasy football. A beautiful idea, a powerful name, another what if to add to the long list. So let me ask you straight, Fox. Would you actually want Gareth Southgate at Leicester City? Or would his arrival be a distraction from the real problems poisoning this club? Hit that subscribe button if you're passionate about Leicester and want to stay up to date.